Mr. Lim Biao Chuan.
Question 6, sir. Mr. Deputy Speaker, our laws make clear the obligations that businesses must meet when they collect and store customers' data. In addition, the Personal Data Protection Commission, or PDPC, and the Cyber Security Agency, or CSA, have published resources on their websites to educate organizations, including businesses, on the importance of data protection and cybersecurity. The PDPC's Guide to Data Protection Practices for ICT Systems compiles a set of good data protection practices that organizations can implement. PDPC has also published the common causes of breaches for IT systems, cloud-based applications, and other IT systems, so that businesses are aware of the risk they face. CSA's website also has cybersecurity toolkits available for free to guide organizations on the cybersecurity practices to protect themselves from cyber attacks and data breaches. So the government has gone beyond education and raising awareness and is doing more to encourage businesses to adopt good cybersecurity and data protection measures. Small and medium enterprises, or SMEs, may participate in the Infocom Media Development Authority's and PDPC's Data Protection Essential Program. It helps them implement baseline data protection and cybersecurity practices, such as antivirus, firewall, data backup, and encryption, with support from a curated panel of service providers. CSA has also launched the Cyber Trust and Cyber Essential marks, which businesses can apply for and be recognized for good cybersecurity measures. Unauthorized access to computer material is punishable under the Computer Misuse Act, or CMA. Perpetrators are liable upon conviction for a fine not exceeding $5,000 or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years, or both. Knowingly obtaining or dealing in personal information that has been obtained through unauthorized access is also punishable under the CMA, with a fine of up to $10,000 or imprisonment of up to 3 years, or both. Penalties are more severe for second or subsequent conviction. These two offences under the CMA are also listed as serious offences under the Corruption, Drug Trafficking, and Other Serious Crimes, Confiscation of Benefits Act. Persons who knowingly acquire, possess, or use, conceal, or transfer the benefits of such offences, or assist another to retain such benefits, are liable to a fine not exceeding $500,000 or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years, or both. The courts can also confiscate any benefits arising from both offences under this Act. So the government takes illegal hacking very seriously and will ensure our laws remain effective in the development of safe and secure cyberspace. Notwithstanding these penalties, it is ultimately the responsibility of businesses to be vigilant and adopt proper cybersecurity and data protection measures to keep their customers' data safe.
Mr. Lim Biao Chuan.
Thank you, sir. Sir, last year it was reported that total of 2.68 million was collected in fines for personal data protection breaches. And then last month, it was reported that 2.6 million accounts of an online marketplace company was hacked and the data was sold on the dark web. Is IMDA satisfied that enough has been done to encourage companies to protect the data? Because it seems like this is going on and on. Second SQ is really, has any hackers been caught? And if so, would the IMDA be willing to publish more information so as to send a signal to hackers to be that there are serious consequences that they have to face for hacking into people's data? Thank you.
SMS Tan Kiat, how?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I thank the member for raising pertinent points, and I think it's it's appreciation of the context that we are operating in. More businesses, more industries, and including individuals are spending more time online. We are putting our personal data in different systems. We are transacting more online in terms of business B2B transactions, B2B2C, and across P2P as well. So it's the nature of our times that we get more digital and more online. And that's why we see increased focus on the need for good cybersecurity and data protection measures. In fact, the PDPA, or the Personal Data Protection Act, was updated and amended in 2020, a couple of years ago, to reflect this growing trend that we see. And one important update to the PDPA was the enhancement of the penalty framework, and which took effect from 1st October of this year, 1st October 2022 is in effect. So previously, the financial penalty cap, which may be imposed on organizations for breaches under the PDPA, was up to $1 million. With the amendment and update, which came into effect on 1st October this year, is up to 10% of organizations' annual turnover in Singapore for organizations with of annual local turnover exceeding $10 million, whichever is higher. So this signals the government's, and I think our economy and society's focus on good data protection. But having said that, I think going after the organizations after the data breach is almost like catching the horse after the barn door has opened and the horse has dashed out. What is more important is ex ante practices to even prevent the data from being exfiltrated or even taken out of the organization. And that's where I think important philosophy and the fundamental principle of the amendment of the PDPA in 2020 puts emphasis on that, which is about accountability. It's about accountability it's a fundamental principle of the PDPA. The organization has to take responsibility for personal data under their possession or control. They have to be answerable to not just the regulatory authorities, their business partners, but importantly to the individuals and their clients and customers whose data is being entrusted to be kept under control or possession of the organization or business. So to Mr. Lim's point, whether I was satisfied, I think this is something we have to continue working on, and I call on all businesses and organizations and encourage them to take this seriously. And there are many resources and toolkits available on the website, including many different schemes to help businesses actually start on their journey or enhance their cybersecurity or personal data protection. And in terms of transparency, as Mr. Lim alluded to, we have PDPC, the Personal Data Protection Commission, actually publishes all the different decisions on the data breaches investigations on their website. I think this is not just to have a salutary impact on other businesses and organizations to take this seriously, but also for other organizations and businesses to understand the good practices of where other organizations have come short, and to incorporate some of these good practices into their operations and their business operations, environment. So in that, I think I encourage all businesses also to take a look at what's been published on PDPC's website around the breaches around the PDPC regulatory regime. Thank you.
No SQs, then Dr. Tan Boon. There's an SQ. Mr. Lim Biao Chuan.
Sorry, sir. I just wanted to ask SMS whether any hackers have been caught and will they say something about the punishment?
So in terms of the hackers, I presume that Mr. Lim is asking under the Computer Misuse Act rather than the Personal Data Protection Act. Sorry, I thought you were referring to the PDPA and PDPC. Under the Computer Misuse Act, it was last amended in 2018, and we are constantly making sure it remains effective. And it was already amended in 2017 to allow the authorities to handle the increasing scale and complexity of cybercrime, which includes hacking, as Mr. Lim alluded to, as well as the evolving tactics of cyber criminals. One of the notable amendments was to criminalize the act of dealing in hacked personal information. So on the specifics of the hackers being caught and some of the penalties that have been meted out. I don't have the specific information now because it's under the Computer Misuse Act. So, Mr. Lin, if you are interested, do file a separate PQ and we take it up.